Yeah, you already know. Accountability is greater than entertainment. For sure it is. Poindexter Lounge, I see you out there, player. I see you. Keep up the good work. Keep doing what you do.
You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. We must be cautious.
If I do nothing else but stand behind this symbol for the next hour, I hope you understand exactly what this video is about. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Poindexter Lounge. My name is Enosh, aka Enosh Fett, and it is good to have you with me in the lounge today. Now, I'm going to turn this light on. There we go. Hey, you heard any good news lately? You know, for the last couple of months, it's been really good to be able to bring a bunch of positivity, to have a lot of positivity in the community, and you guys have been great, and it's been fantastic. But there comes a time when you can still be positive, yet you need to say your piece, and you need to say something. And I feel like that time is today, and that time is now. I'm going to have some guests here that join me shortly, but I just want to start this off by saying, look, if you're the type of person that just likes to love stuff, you love pop culture, you love things like TV shows, movies, games, sci-fi, fantasy, comic books, superheroes, toys, fun stuff like that, you found the right place. That's what the Poindexter Lounge is about, ladies and gentlemen. The Poindexter Lounge is about us getting together and talking about those things that we love, right? But if you are also the type of person who believes in standing up for what you believe is right when you need to do that, then you've also found the right place, because that is what the Poindexter Lounge means. That's what the Poindexter Lounge stands for. And now we have a symbol. We have a symbol given to us by a man who is standing up for what he feels is right, even in the face of idiots, of people who want to come against him, and apparently even in the face of conglomerate news outlets that are scared to actually put out what is, that they do it, but when there's backlash, when there's people who don't want to hear it, and I'm pretty sure when there's people who call in favors or make it known that they're not happy when articles come out that are negative towards them, then yes, they back off. But you know what? My resolve is even stronger, and I hope yours is too, that I stand with Ray Fisher. And tonight, Ray answered these people who don't have backbone, these people who don't have the guts to stand up to this kind of tyranny and ridiculousness. And we're going to talk about that tonight. Because I'll be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sick of hearing these whiners and complainers. I'm sick of hearing these people who want to gripe and moan about, oh, there's not any evidence is presented. When the reality is if somebody handed you literally a written document signed by Joss Whedon that said I'm a racist, you would try to spin it into something else because it doesn't work for you. It doesn't work for your narrative. Right? If somebody handed you something that was, somebody presented a video to you of Jeff Johns telling Ray Fisher that he better play ball or his career was in danger, and I have heard you spin it. I have heard you already spin this into, oh, well, he was probably just telling a guy who, was complaining and whining about the whole thing. Hey, that's not how business is done around here. That's not how we do things around here. If you're going to act that way, we're not going to have you. That's how business is done. That's the problem. Your spinning and your actions and your conversations and your tweets and your videos that you put out about this, talking that way, prove the point. Is it's been that way for far too long. It's been that way for far too long. And it's time that things change. And that is why Ray Fisher has said the things that he has said. That's the reason why. Look, Forbes doesn't dictate how this is going to play out. Forbes bringing down Faruqi, and it looks like he may no longer be there because they're saying he's a former contributor to Forbes. And if that's the case, oh my gosh, let them open up themselves to a whole new form of discrimination. But if companies like, if organizations, corporations like Forbes and others are unwilling to stand up against this garbage that has been out there for far too long and has existed, that people are scared to come forward. Don't you understand? That's why people are scared to come forward. That's why people like Ray Fisher, who has a little bit of clout, has to be the one to come up and stand for these people, to be able to stand up for these people and speak for these people and bring these people to a place where they can speak. Well, he just heard it in the room. He just heard it from somebody else. What didn't happen to him? Do you not have half a brain to pay attention to what has been said over the last 3 or 4 months? Ray Fisher has done nothing. I'm surprised you guys weren't all complaining about this 3 months ago when he has said, I am standing up for others who don't have a voice. What part of that don't you understand? He is bringing this to light because you know what? The person who's working on the set, who's just trying to make ends meet, who has a family, who could be replaced just like that by somebody else who'll shut their mouth, that's the kind of person he's standing up for. The stunt double who also doesn't feel comfortable doing the scene with another man laying in their cleavage, but doesn't have the clout or the recognizability of a Gal Gadot who can say, look, I'm not doing this. You can threaten me if you want, but you know what? If you come up with a big campaign to threaten somebody like that and say, well, you know, we're just gonna take away your Wonder Woman franchise, that's gonna look really bad. But the stunt double doesn't have the ability to say that, doesn't have the ability to stand up against that kind of thing. And so what happens? What happens then? They end up having to shoot the scene. They end up having to do the things that they don't want to do or the things that they feel uncomfortable with because they don't have a voice. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what Ray Fisher is standing up to. That is what Ray Fisher is putting himself on the line to bring awareness so that these people can testify, so that these people can share their experiences firsthand. Ray Fisher has never said that all these experiences are mine firsthand. From the very beginning, he has put out there that the treatment that they received on the set was gross, was disgusting, was full of all kinds of misogynistic and racist things. He has said that. He never said they all happened to him. And if you watch his Instagram videos, which I have, if you watch his posts, which I have, anybody with half a brain, which is probably a problem for Mr. Andy Signore at this point, but I digress. Anyone with half a brain would be able to see exactly what Ray is saying. That Ray is saying, I'm standing up because he said it. I mean, the guy has literally said it point blank out there for everybody to hear. So I don't know if you need to get your hearing checked, because obviously you didn't hear Jody say gay. And yeah, you know what? I will say something about it. I haven't said anything about this for the last 3 months. You know why? Not because I'm scared of anybody, not because I don't have the guts to do it, but because I don't care about those people. If you've been around the channel, you know I did over an hour-long statement about exactly what I felt at the time, what my position was, and I left it alone. And you know what? I've been fine with that. I've gotten back to doing positive, fun things and inviting you guys along. And even like last night, we were able to go back and we were able to watch The Mandalorian, me and my family right there on my couch and have a good time and watch that with you guys. And that's the kind of stuff that I want to do. But don't think for a second that you're going to sit there and you're going to come at me or come at others like this, and that we're just going to shut our mouths or that we're not going to say anything. Because yeah, I might have tried to retire, but like the old saying goes, I tried, but they pull me right back in. And so, you know what? It's okay. It's all right. I'm all good with that. And we're going to talk a little bit about that here in just a second. But first of all, if you feel the same way that I do, don't put it off. Hit that subscribe button, because we don't back down, and we're not going to back down, and we're not going to go quietly into the night, and we're not going to be intimidated, and we're not going to be told how stupid we are. And you know what? Even if Popcorn Planet unblocked me on Twitter, good for him, man. By the way, good for him for finally blocking me. Now, of course, that was pretty much simply to just send me a message highlighting the fact that Faruqi was let go from Forbes. So good job, Popcorn Planet, to be happy about someone losing their job, possibly. Good job. You're right up there with Doomcock, putting out there that he was happy or that he was right, that I was right about this, about Disney, because 28,000 people lost their job. Good job on you. You're a class act. I'm always willing, ladies and gentlemen, to have conversations, and I'll have a conversation with anybody. And if Andy Signore wanted to come on this program, I would not sway away from that. I'd be more than happy to invite Andy Signore on here. You know what? If Ray Fisher, and Ray Fisher's already said that at some point he's going to come on here after this stuff dies down, I'll be happy to have Ray Fisher on this broadcast, because I support Ray Fisher, and I know that our watchers do as well. And so I don't know what's going on. It says somebody's telling me that I'm choppy right now. I don't know what's going on. But I just wanted to start off this broadcast by saying, I know what I believe. I know what I stand for. I stand with Ray Fisher. That's right. I stand with Ray Fisher. And yeah, I'm sorry that you guys don't have clean ears, and you guys have, you know what? I think a lot of you need to go get your ears checked, because I'll say it again. He said gay. And you know what? I don't back down from that. I said it originally. It got put out there. People saying, oh, you should really stop that because you know what he said. Yeah, I know what he said. I know what he said. And how many times have we heard it now? I've heard it slowed down. I also have heard it, cut up so that the second part, the second and third words were not heard. Because yes, he said yay at first. And I'm not going to get into having to explain all that junk over and over and over again, because it's stupid. But the reality is what has been said has been said. And I'm sorry for those of you who don't like it, who are against it. But you know what? It doesn't change anything. And I am so proud of my man, Ray Fisher, for coming up and for tweeting out tonight. And we're going to bring up his tweet, but he tweeted out tonight, unafraid. And this symbol. And we're going to talk about that. And I got some great guys in here with me. First of all, you love him. Silent Scotty really loves this guy. They've developed quite a relationship all the way. I don't know what sector he's in right now. He's flying high, man. He's all costumed up and ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Brian, Master of None. Good to have you here, sir.
Set a course for fun, everyone.
That's right. That's right. Well, you notice I'm wearing my Nuclear Man shirt.
Very nice.
Superman 4, because I'm about ready to go nuclear. Lots of people. And ladies and gentlemen, you love him. I love him. You don't want to mess with him. He's, I tell you what, I've seen this guy in person. The guy is built. The guy is ready to go. And apparently he's been back to the future and back. Ladies and gentlemen, ACS Universe, Anthony.
Hey, hold on. Hey, let's go.
Out of time.
Gotta get back in time.
Absolutely.
Yo, I love that song.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, guys, you know, like I've kind of started with my piece on this. You guys have seen the tweets. You guys saw the junk today about Forbes massaging the entire article, taking out Ray Fisher's claims, putting in, all this defense for Joss Whedon and everybody else. And now it appears, I mean, we haven't seen an official thing that says we've fired Faruqi.
No.
But now it says former contributor. What do you have to say? What are your guys' opinions about this? Anthony, why don't we start with you?
I think it's BS. I mean, it's the epitome of BS as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, let me see. Whew. Oh shit, it got super bright. But yeah, no, it's I didn't know the reach was like that. I didn't know they had that reach where, like, something can come out officially on something like Forbes with a writer who is on staff,
right,
and do an interview and put the information out there, and then whatever's happened, what's happened today, which I don't know details. I don't know if you guys know details. I don't know details, but I just know that I saw where it said former contributor. And so like I said, I didn't know the reach was that far reaching where they can come at it like this and then take the article and just cut out just intricate parts of it that made the article compelling in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's BS. And I really appreciate the fact. Obviously, I hadn't seen anything from Shiraz on social media today, but as far as Ray coming out and saying unafraid, that's pretty fire, in my personal opinion. So obviously, I'm sure he's aware of what's happened. If anything, and so yeah, it's BS. It's man, I didn't know the arms could stretch that far where they could be like, yo, take this article and manipulate it and then like get rid of the writer of said article. Yeah.
What do you think? I'm sorry. I was just contacted by somebody who's going to be a great addition to this.
Oh,
I can't believe that this person agreed to come on. But while I'm taking care of this, what's up? What do you think, Brian?
Honestly, we've been in the trenches with this. I mean, basically since day one. Okay, and the lengths that they went to get us quiet, really pissed me off. Like, like beyond. It was just as low. You know what I mean? So I already have a very low opinion of those guys. Yeah. And we've kept our end of the deal. We haven't really brought them up at all. So
I know. Well, that's the thing is like, I have that's exactly it, man. And I think it's funny because it's not been out of anything more than it's like I just don't care anymore. Right? Yeah. I mean, like I really just don't care anymore. And then I love it because yesterday I started getting like all these tweets and private messages and stuff from people saying like, "Oh, Andy Signore is bringing you up again. He's talking about you and stuff." And I'm like, "Really? Okay.
Okay.
Good for him. Apparently, Mr. Signore must really need the attention." To come back at me and like want to talk about me again. I mean, like, but I was glad, and I was going to pull it up here, is the fact that like I know that he's got longtime beef with Matt Jarbo and all that stuff, and things like that. But what I really thought was funny about this was more than anything is like he talked about me, man, like right out the gate. had to say something about me right away and like put this up. I'm trying to upload it here. But he put this picture, like he put my picture right up on his thing. He talked about me right away, said Poindexter, you know, he had a problem with it when we talked about this the other night because the original article was great.
Yes.
I felt the original article was balanced.
Yeah.
It put Ray Fisher's point of view out there. And it also said, look, I've reached out to these guys, you know, like I've reached out to Joss Whedon. I've reached out to Jeff Johns. I've reached out to WB. It's their fault if they didn't want to answer. He literally just put this out there and, you know, but I was really shocked. So today I got a message from Popcorn Planet. And because I had messaged him back and I said, wow, because when this whole thing went down, I saw that he was talking about me and everything. I just went to see, man, you know, like if he's willing to put me up like front and center and put my, you know, my icon, my avatar up there, my, you know, from the video the other day. Yeah. Well, let's see if he's willing to have a conversation again. Because like I've always said, I'm always willing to have a conversation. People in the chat even now, like, you should bring him on and have a conversation with him, blah, blah, blah.
That's the thing we've tried.
Have tried to do that. Look, I am not like some others that I know, like just want to have an argument with him and just want to go round and round with him or Jody or anybody. No, look, that was never the point. The point was I have tried to have a conversation. If you see the conversation from Max's stream months ago, where I finally had an opportunity. And obviously there was a bunch of screaming going on. There's a bunch of people trying to all jump in all at the same time. Right. And so I get that. And he came on, he's got a mask on, he's got all this stuff. Right. And he was doing that whole thing. But beyond that, I've always said I was willing to have a conversation with Andy, to actually sit down with Andy. But then when I tried to actually put out there what I felt about Andy, because I used to be a fan of Andy's.
Yeah.
Right. And I even told him that day, I said, your second channel where you're doing stuff with your kids and you're just having fun. That's awesome, dude. Why aren't you doing that? Why are you seeking all of this other junk? Right. Because I'd be willing to watch that stuff. Like you got your Back to the Future stuff on right now, man. Like, hey now, but, oh, there it is. Look at that. Dude, you look cool. You look so cool even with that, man. I gotta say. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. Like I watched as Andy Signore. You know, he did a video about how he watched, you know, Back to the Future with his kids, right? And he was getting their opinion, and that reminded me of some of the stuff that I've done here at the Poindexter Lounge. It's about my family. It's about us, man, watching movies together and watching things together and having fun. That's good content. All of this other stuff for drama is ridiculous and over the top. And the thing is that I tried to have that conversation with him. I tried to reason with him, and I was like, man, why are you seeking all this stuff? Why are you attacking people simply because they wanted the Snyder cut? And now I know here will come all the you know, the comments and everything, all the bombs in here, you know, going, well, you know, like it's not about the cut, it's about the cult. No, it's not. No, it's not. Because you know what? They say that, but then they try to heap everybody in, guys, that everybody's part of the cult now, right? That like they even called me the leader of the Snyder cult. We've messed around with that how much here on the channel because it's stupid and silly. And the idea even that like I'm part of some cult of people who just like they'll believe Snyder no matter what and believe these people, whatever. Like you guys are missing everything about this, you know, when I don't want to go down this route of we're going to go back and forth and we're going to, you know, spar like this, right? You want to talk? Let's talk, right? But to attack people, to put these kind of things out there, say these kind of things, and then act like, well, because they know what they're doing, right? They know, like, if we put something out there, right? Like if Andy puts this out there and he talks about me, and then he talks about Film Gob, and he talks about Matt Jarbo, he knows somebody's going to say something back to him. And you know what? It gives him a story, right? Yeah. Because us doing this video right now, I guarantee you there'll be Poindexter responds to us and like, you know, or it'll be a thing like, I don't want to say his name, you know, whatever. Look, I don't have a problem saying your name.
Views are down, right?
Right. Views must be down because apparently Andy Signore can't get me out of his mouth.
He's trying to bring up the beef this time.
Yeah, he's trying to recreate something that's like months past. Who cares? Right? And so look, the Snyder Cut's coming, other stuff's coming. Yep. It's going to get rounded out. We're going to get positive stuff. Look, you can't act like I hate the stuff that came before. I'm wearing a freaking Nuclear Man shirt.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
From Superman 4. So don't give me this thing. Well, you just love Snyder and you just hate everything about DC's past and the good stuff or whatever. It doesn't get much lighter fare than Superman 4. Okay.
Yeah. That's a deep cut, really.
Right. And so, you know what? So I'm just saying, and there's actually a rebuttal to all this that I want to bring up, but I'm waiting for the person who wrote this article to pop in here. And so, but I mean, I don't know, guys. I'm at this point. So I don't understand this hatred still for Ray Fisher and the fact that he simply wants to get the word out. He wants to get people thinking about this. He wants to challenge people not to burn down DC and Warner Brothers as some people in the chat are saying right now.
He's legit said he doesn't want to take down Warner Brothers because there are people who work there who were not involved in this. So why take down the whole thing when there's only a few people that need to be held accountable? Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
And that's the point is that he wants to bring some positivity, right? He wants to bring some positivity. He wants people to take a stand for the things that are wrong. And I'm telling you right now, yes. That's awesome. I can't imagine Truth. Or Dab. That's a whole other. That's a whole other thing. I would love to be a fly on the wall, man, for what that poor lady went through.
He clapped on him. Jarbo clapped on him for that.
Yeah,
he did.
He came.
That was a good one too.
Yeah, it was.
Oh my gosh!
I laughed at that.
I mean, can you imagine coming home every day to? We're going to talk about this now. What's for dinner? Well, you know, I've been all around, guys, and I don't know what's for dinner because my wife hasn't even told me yet. Hey, kids, what's for dinner? I don't know. I guess we'll pop something in the microwave then. Where's Jody? Super chat. I will say this, guys. I will say this, ladies and gentlemen. You know what? We have a wonderful group of people who support this channel, and I'm thankful to each and every one of you. You guys are awesome, who support this channel, and I'm very thankful. And you know what? I will not mock that because you guys are awesome. And here's a bunch of our members, and I know a lot of you guys are in the chat right now. But you know what? I do want to update you all because you know what? I've added 2 new emoticons for members. One is the oh yeah, because you got to have the Macho Man oh yeah emoticon, right?
Oh yeah.
So like if you're agreeing with stuff, man, you can pop out the oh yeah right there and just say, man, yeah, we agree with what's going on, what's being said here. Or I've added this because I think this is something definitely for our channel that we need, and obviously we talk about this a lot. So if you stand with Ray Fisher, you got that as well. Yeah. But I just like to hear these guys just wax on about this stuff. You know, and try to bring up the beef again, like this beef. You know, I wish I had Jared Leto, man, to just be like, you know, the beef. You know, don't want no beef. You know, but there's Master of None up there with his oh yeah, Ray Fisher. Oh yeah, heck yeah.
Hey, Comic Book Craig. Yes, as a matter of fact, I'd like a tab. Can I get a tab?
What was that? I don't know if I caught. I like this one. All hail the great leader of Snyder called Enosh. Wait, wrong meeting. LOL. It's like Jody last claimed the Snyder fans got played and should be upset because we're not getting the 214 cut. What I know. So that was another thing. Like I did actually watch a Jody video for the first time in 3 months, and I saw his own people. This was hilarious. His own guy, and I wish I had the clip. But his own guy is talking to him on the panel and says, like, why are you mad? And Jody's going on like, well, they're not getting what they asked for. They asked for the Snyder cut. They're not getting that. They're getting this 4-hour thing with all this added stuff on it. And he's like, yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that. Dude,
Oh, you didn't see
Man,
it?
that's like literally how everybody feels about it. It's like, dude, what are you?
Yeah, what like you still okay? We asked for 214. We're not getting that. We're getting something extremely better.
Yeah, we asked for a 6-pack and we got a keg.
Yes,
I'm telling you, man.
Exactly. Oh my God, dude, that is.
I got it. You know what? I'll try to find it. I'll try to find it real quick because I did watch this, and it's just absolutely hilarious watching it because his own guy on his panel is like, dude, like he's like, I don't care about the Snyder Cut. He said, but he said, like, if I was into the Snyder Cut, why would I be upset
that I'm getting more?
And he's like, because that's not what you asked for. You asked for this other thing. And he's like, what?
It's like asking for a really cheap cut of meat and they bring you the fillet.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Who's going to bitch about that? Honestly, it's like,
Brian, yo, that's like them bringing you what they brought to Flintstones on the side. They put it on the side of his car at the end of Flintstones, and it just that's what you. I want 2 pork chops, but they bring you that shit, and that's That's pretty much what it is.
Exactly. And so I don't understand like why they would think that we would want to complain about that, like why we wouldn't appreciate what's been done. And what we're getting, and to just be able to enjoy that, you know, man, I don't know. I really don't know.
You know, honestly, it's like, what we consider them access media or something. I don't know if they're on that tier or not, but does siding with Warner Brothers gain them anything? That's what I'm trying to understand, because there has to be an angle somehow. You know, It's like, do you get the invites to the red carpets? Is that why you guys are backing them up? No. Like, you know, they can do no wrong. I mean, are you getting free access, you know, because you pump them up, but unfortunately they're not around for you to pump up anymore? Like, I just don't understand why they're like this.
Yeah. I don't know either. It's just really silly. It's just really silly to me because I think I found it. Hold on a second. I think I found it.
Oh, this is a treat. Halloween keeps on giving, man. This is great. No, I just feel bad.
Happy Halloween, by the way.
Yeah. No, it sucks because it's like every year they're like, oh, I wish it was on the weekends.
And here it is on the weekend.
And no one can go trick or treating.
No.
Well, not no one.
Well, I don't know. I wasn't. I had it, but now I don't know where it's at. But because I don't want to just spend time going through all of his videos and all that junk. But the point is like his own guy is like sitting there telling him like, seriously, dude, like why wouldn't you just want that? Like, you know, like why is it so hard for people to understand that it's like, yes, we wanted the Snyder Cut, right? We asked for the Snyder Cut.
Yep.
Great. And now we're getting not only the Snyder Cut, but now AT&T said, hey, you know what? These people really want this. Let's give them something special. Let's add on to that. Let's let him realize his whole thing, because we don't know if we're going to get Justice League 2, Justice League 3. We don't, I mean, look, I believe wholeheartedly at this point that we're going to see the entire story that Zack wanted to put out there.
Yeah, the scary idea.
Yeah, right. We're gonna see that whole thing actually come to fruition. We haven't gotten that announcement at this point, but I guarantee they're not going to invest this kind of money, ladies and gentlemen, into something like this to just say, okay, done.
They literally used it to launch their streaming service.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like their Mandalorian.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I had a conversation with somebody at work today about that. It's just, you know, Disney Plus would probably be underwater right now if it wasn't for the Mandalorian.
Yeah,
that's a pretty, you know, that's a pretty good statement, because that's what they have. The rest of those movies, even if you're into watching the Marvel movies or whatever, like you can see those elsewhere.
Yeah.
But as far as subscribing to Disney Plus, let's see.
So okay, somebody just tweeted it to me.
Yeah.
So
okay.
So thank you to Comic Book Craig Movies. tweeted it to us. So I'll actually show it to you guys here, where basically he doesn't get it, man. And you know, it's too bad that he doesn't get it. And look, I'm not saying you got to like it. Look, I was talking to Cylon Scotty today. You guys all know Cylon,
Yeah, I know
and you guys were all here last week and stuff, and we all had a good time. And I've been on the record how much saying, look, I enjoy The Last Jedi, right?
Yeah.
I enjoy The Last Jedi. So not everybody enjoys The Last Jedi. Some people are very adamant about the fact that they don't enjoy The Last Jedi, and that is fine. But Cylon and I, actually, the morning that we dropped off Anthony, and then we went and dropped off Zeverfet, you know, so we got like an hour drive all the way back, right? And I got an hour drive back from Detroit. I'm driving, and so Scotty starts talking to me about The Last Jedi, which is an interesting topic when you've had no sleep for 3 days, and you're driving in the dark. But it was great. It was awesome. And I love Scotty, and shout out to Scotty and to Sophie. You guys are awesome. They sent me me and Tiffany a bunch of pictures today. They went to the Star Wars store out where they live. And it was just awesome. And so, but you know what he told me today? He sent me a text and he says, man, and I haven't even read the finished text, like after I told him I love him, because I knew that we had to come on here. But I just told him, he said, so me and Sophie, we rewatched The Last Jedi with the ideas and the thoughts that you put out there. And he said, he said, we looked at it in a different way. And he told me the new things that he appreciated now that maybe they didn't before. And he says, we do have an appreciation for it. I still don't love the movie. Yeah. It's still not my favorite. He says, but I appreciate you having that conversation with us. And I appreciate this now a little bit more. And that's what I told him. I said, I told him back. I said, you know what? I didn't used to like Attack of the Clones at all. I hated the Attack of the Clones. And then about 5 years ago, I was watching it, and it was like I was watching a new movie, guys. It was like, it popped up, and I was like, I saw things that I didn't see before in the movie, and I enjoyed things about it that I didn't enjoy before. And I went, there's something here that I never really even appreciated before. Yeah. And now, is it my favorite Star Wars movie? No. But I can appreciate it for what it is. And that's all we ask out of anyone is like, look, if you don't want something, if you hate something, if you don't like something, that's fine. But don't crap on everyone else because they do. Yeah. Right? Like, and that was the problem that I had with Jody and Andy originally. They literally threw an online party, right? Griping and complaining about it and happy that the Snyder cut was killed, was crushed, was dead. And then, of course, just a couple days later, our glorious leader, Zack Snyder, had a little watch party for Man of Steel and revealed that the Snyder Cut was coming, and they got ticked. They were so ticked, and that was when all of the vitriol, all of the anger, all of that started even more. And it was a Snyder cult, and then it was these people are awful, and how dare they want these cuts of the movie, and how dare they want to see Snyder's vision and stuff like that. It's gonna hurt Hollywood. It's gonna hurt this. And all these excuses, and then Jody with his BS about AT&T's a slave master and all this just garbage. That's how I got involved in this to begin with, because I simply gave my commentary on it, and then they dug their own hole in the fact that they went on and they started all this junk about Ray Fisher, because they just wanted Ray Fisher to come on their program. They wanted Ray Fisher to come on with Andy and Jody and be their little guest so that they could say, look who we got. And I guarantee you, look at me. And I got this thing marked up here, but I want you to look me in my eye, because I guarantee you, if Ray Fisher would have agreed to go on Jody's Corner or on Popcorn Planet or whatever other channel that they wanted to simulcast on, if he had done that, they'd have no problem with Ray Fisher.
Nope.
Yeah. Nope. They would have gotten what they wanted. They would have gotten an exclusive. Oh, we would have Jody Damas. We would have got. Oh yes. It would have been so great, and they would have been so happy for what they got, because they would have landed that deal. They would have landed that big fish of Ray Fisher. Yep. But it's not what they got, is it?
No, they got clowned on.
They got pushback from us.
They got pushback from Ray Fisher.
Yeah, too.
Ray Fisher blocked the heck out of him. And it pissed them off so bad. And they got so mad that they started just, when you get emotional and you don't have a lot of control over what you're saying, so you're just throwing stuff out there and blah, 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 blah. And and they're talking about Kanye and putting him down because apparently he's crazy, right? And they're talking about everybody else. And anybody who's watched the episode of South Park knows exactly what I'm talking about, that dealt with Kanye and the whole gay Fisher thing. And all of a sudden it was, yay, Fisher, he's crazy. Oh, gay Fisher. And you know what? I'm not alone. So I will save you the keystrokes, but I know that you'll do it anyways because, well, he didn't say gay Fisher. He said, yay, Fisher, you can't hear correctly, blah, 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 blah. Look, I'm not the only one. Nope. Not the only one. You can blame me all you want, but I never sent that to Mr. Fisher. I never made him aware of it. I never tagged him. I never said a word to him. And you know what I think pisses him off even more is Ray Fisher wasn't watching them, wasn't paying attention to them. But all of a sudden, this little guy in a toy room sitting up here got retweeted. And not only that, but at the expense of our good friend Nerdy in many ways joking with me that I get a little too happy with the drops. We get things like this, like the drop that I started off with.
You already know. Accountability is greater than entertainment. For sure it is. Poindexter Lounge, I see you out there, player. I see you. Keep up the good work. Keep doing what you do.
Oh, how much do you think that's them off? And even then, how much more do you think it takes them off when he says something like this?
We got a door right here. Poindexter Lounge, shout out to you, player. Hope you're doing all right out there. Poindexter Lounge says, "Ray, we need to talk movies sometime." We certainly can. I mean, I'm not a huge movie aficionado, but I'd be open to something like that. Give me a little bit of time. I won't forget about you, player. Let's go. Poindexter says, "I love your style. Appreciate your style too, player. Appreciate everything you're doing out there. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Don't let nobody tell you nothing."
That's right. Don't let nobody tell you nothing, man.
Yeah, it speaks for itself.
Guess what? You all can sit there and you can say whatever you want to say about me in the chat. You can say whatever, and Andy can say whatever he wants to on his. Why is he supporting this guy? I don't understand it. Why does Ray just shut up and let it go? Oh, he just wants to do it. Thought I told you, we don't back down. Thought I told you, we don't back down. And so we ain't going nowhere, right? We ain't going nowhere. I have more of a resolve now in me than ever. And we're not going to stop. And all you've done is rally the troops.
Yeah,
you guys.
Yeah. Pretty much.
All you've done is rally the troops because now we have places to gather. And look, if you're new to this whole thing, or if you've been around the Snyderverse, if you've been a supporter of the Snyder Cut or whatever, I want you to know this can be your rallying place. Okay, they want to make me your leader. They want to make me the leader of the Snyder cult. Look, I'll gladly take that. I'll gladly stand up because you know what? It's not just one leader, right? It's not one voice. It's all of us together. You don't need one person as a leader because we all have this resolve in us that we are going to stand up for what we believe. We're going to stand up to this ridiculous garbage. And now, I love it. He's given us the symbol.
Yes.
Yeah.
If that don't become a t-shirt, I don't know, man. That's got to be a shirt, man.
Yeah,
and I'll tell you right now, the second that becomes a t-shirt, we are going to promote the heck out of that. Mm-hmm. And like I said, if you become a member, you can use it right here anytime. Anytime. We're going to stand with Ray Fisher because that's what we believe. That's what we believe. But also, I do want to say a shout out to DC Talk with Extended. Give a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, brother. Yes. Thank you so much. You'll never see us pandering or asking you guys for anything. But when you do support the channel, we do appreciate it, and it means that we can continue doing what we do. And so the question is, so when will the investigation end? Is it still going on? Is Fisher taking them to court? What's next? I'm lost. So let's answer that question. And then I want to show the video real quick from Jody's corner. So that's a great question, 187. And the thing is that the question has been answered actually many times. What's up, Matt Jarbo? You've got a link, by the way.
It was good.
But here's the thing. The investigation is ongoing because at first the investigation, and I'm actually, guys, I've got all the tweets and everything, and I've taken pictures of them, and I feel like I need to make a video, like a timeline video.
Yeah, you probably should, man. Put
right?
it all
Like
together.
of how this stuff goes together. It's going to take me a while because there's a lot of information now. But here's the thing. I'm kind of willing to do it because the thing is that I see that people just don't know. And I can't get mad at people for just not knowing.
Yeah.
Right. But here's the thing. The investigation started, but Warner Brothers, not Warner Media, who's actually not AT&T, who's actually working with Ray Fisher. People don't understand this. That like, just because it says Warner on the door doesn't mean that it's all the same company.
Yeah.
AT&T owns the whole shebang, but all these companies, they're all on their own and they all work on their own. And so they have to work together, but they have to have somebody tell them what's up. Right. And it has to take the right path. And so the thing is that Warner Brothers Pictures are responsible for what happened on Justice League, on the set of Justice League, and whatever else happened there that needs to be dealt with. So of course, Warner Brothers hired an investigator, and that's what we all wanted, right? That's what we all said we wanted. By the way, thank you for this, Truth or Dab. I appreciate it. And I'm so glad you subbed. I'm so glad to have you here, man.
Welcome.
I don't know. That's a great avatar. So whatever. I'm just glad to have you here. All right. Yes. So either way. So Rasha brings up the point right here, right? Is that it came. And by the way, what's up, Rasha? Good to see you.
Rasha,
what's good to see you. So that was the point, was that they hired somebody, but of course they were going to hire somebody. They thought, well, we'll just hire somebody to do the investigation. They'll do the investigation. We'll be in and out. It'll be no problem at all. Everybody will be happy. We can say that we did something. And then you know what? It'll just go away. They tried to cover their butts is what they did. And they hired an investigator that had a conflict of interest with what was going on. So yes, when it happened, they confronted everybody. Ray Fisher tried to talk to them, but then they brought up, and there's video of this. Ray has come out and said, look, because they came out and said, he's not cooperating. He's not cooperating with us. Right. And what did Ray say? Ray immediately put out something and said, that's not true. I have been cooperating with them, but I was on a call with them. I did not have my attorneys present. They were not with me. They were not on the call. And the investigator brought up a secret surprise witness to try to throw a wrench into the whole thing. And look, Ray did exactly what any of us should do in that situation. What did he say? He said, I'm not gonna. He says, I need to talk to my counsel about this. I need to have my counsel here and be able to go over with them what needs to be done, what needs to be said about this new information, instead of just spouting out at the mouth like a lot of our detractors do, right? Because they get all emotional and all of a sudden they start, throwing out homophobic slurs, and they start, and I'm not even talking about the Ray Fisher one. I'm talking about the one that Jody landed towards me about what he wanted to do to my esophagus in his supposed "I'm sorry" speech. And then you try to turn around and tell me that you don't say stuff like that. Sure, I believe it. Yeah.
Keep it classy, Andy.
Yep. So here's the thing. So all that goes down. And so they just say, look, we need a new investigator. By the way, this Nuclear Man shirt, I believe this is a Zeverfet original. I bought a couple of shirts, didn't even know they were Zeverfets. And so I was glad I was able to support it. So what's up, Ryan? So that was the thing, was that they hired this investigator, but the investigator was there basically to just kind of brush it over and just so that they could say that they did what they were going to do and then be done. And when it came out, they said, look, we need a third party investigator. Nuclear, right? Not nuclear. Not nuclear. So that's what they said, right? They said, we need a third party investigator to get to the bottom of it. And that's what we should all want. Seriously. Yeah. Like, why? Like, if for all of you going, I just wish it would go away. Well, then you know what? You should support Ray Fisher wanting a third party investigator to be able to come in and actually do the job that needs to be done. You shouldn't want to just sweep stuff under the bridge or under the rug, I should say, to just make it go away. If you really care about the truth, right? If you really care about what's true, you're not going to go on with this. Well, I like Joss Whedon. Well, I like Jeff Johns, and I like all of this stuff. You know what? Look, I liked Stargirl. I watched the heck out of that last season, and I liked it. Sorry, I just got done with 3 Jokers. I liked 3 Jokers. The comic. I liked it. That's good, Master. None. That's good.
Nuclear vessels.
The nuclear vessels.
They ask a cop.
So yes, 187. That's the point. But the only reason they're getting the third party investigator is because of the tenacity of Ray Fisher.
Yeah.
If Ray had just gone along with this, they wouldn't be getting the proper people to get this job done. Right. And that's what we just want to see. We just want to see it done. And no, his end game is not to bring down Warner Brothers, as we said, and Brian just alluded to. It's just to hold people accountable. And he has said from the beginning, I just don't want other people to have to go through things like this, to be harassed, to be hurt, to be degraded.
Yeah.
You know, and no, for all of you saying, well, then he should just say what happened then. There's an investigation going on. Yes. It's like just like I said, you know, and that's the thing is you can't hire your own employees to do the investigating. You need to get a third party investigator.
Yeah.
And so the question here is yes, there's currently a third party investigator investigating. So why do the Forbes interview? Here's why. Because the public has responded the way it has. When you have people like Andy Signore and Jody and all these people still dredging this stuff up, okay, not letting it go. Yes, you do an interview, but he didn't state anything in that interview that was any more different than the things that he has shared. He did share about some things about some racism that he felt was happening. But look, all that stuff about color changes and all those things about to African Americans in or people of color, I should say, in the movie. Those are things that were brought up a few months ago, but they were little blurbs. Nobody actually pointed them out because nobody wanted to bring them out then because they thought that this was all going to go away. So none of that is really all new. So that's why you do the interview. But here's the thing is, and I was hoping she would join on because she mentioned, because she actually just reached out to me and said that she was going to try to jump on. But there was a great counter interview. And thank you, Ryan. That's right, man. We're going to get to the truth and we're going to move forward because that's what we're all about. But I want to show this video first because I said I was going to show this video, and then then I just want to talk about this because I know I got to get on another stream later with Max that I promised to do. But I had to say something about this because I've had this burning in me, guys, where it's like I'm so over a lot of this stuff that we're seeing, and it's like I'm seeing that, you know what, since I last spoke my mind, there's been new things brought to light, and I want people to know exactly where I stand. You're not going to bully me or talk me out of being a Ray Fisher supporter.
Yeah.
Okay. You're not going to, it's not going to happen. And like I said, and also here's an open, all of you guys who are here from Jody's Corner, all of you guys who are here from Andy Signore, go back to your leader and say this. Enosh has given you an open invitation. If you want to actually have a dignified, actual conversation about why I believe the way that I believe and why you believe the way that you believe, and actually have a conversation where it's not a bunch of guys talking over people, I won't have any panel whatsoever. Andy, you are more than welcome to come on the Poindexter Lounge. Jody, you're more than welcome to come on the Poindexter Lounge. Even after all this, and we'll have a one-on-one conversation. Not a bunch of people over here, not a bunch of guys over here, and all of our crews jumping on each other and everybody like jumping over each other, because honestly, that doesn't get us anywhere. I will have that conversation. Reach out to me. And if you're not watching this video, go back and tell them. Tell them.
They'll find out.
Yeah. And this isn't some prop up my chest and go, I'm gonna take you out. It's not the point. It's not the point to take anybody out or to cancel anybody or do anything. I hate that stuff. Okay. Yeah. I'm not about canceling anybody. I got accused so much. Oh, you're trying to cancel Jody. You're trying to cancel Andy. No, I wasn't trying to cancel anybody. I just want to have a conversation. So here is what was said to us, and I just find this interesting. You guys see that?
Yep.
All right. Here's part of what was said.
No Snyder Cut fans could be pissed. He finessed the freak out of y'all to get that chance.
What should be awesome about this is good news.
Why should they be pissed?
Because he didn't have a cut. He made you believe he had a cut. Now he's gonna make a whole new movie for you. Get excited.
The whole entire movement was for the cut to come out, not this new shit.
Yeah, but they wanted the cut because they like Zack Snyder shit.
No, now you're adding layers.
Oh, I thought they liked this shit. That's why they wanted his cut.
The movement was only to do one thing: release the cut.
Yeah, I know, and they wanted the cut.
I've never heard somebody try so hard to be right.
But now this is
you're gonna get a Zack Snyder,
but this is a whole new
revised, beautiful shit. More shit from your boy.
That's a whole new movie, though. This is not the cut.
So if he wanted to do Looney Tunes characters, support that too.
What do you mean, Looney? That's completely different.
If Zack Snyder changed it up and says, "I want to make it animated,"
if Zack Snyder had, I don't know why we're going through this. I would be excited if I was a Zack Snyder fan and I wanted to see the movie, and he's adding more to the movie because I know he's gonna add his little flavor, and I love his flavor.
The purpose of the Snyder Cut was because they wanted to do. They believe Warner Brothers did Zack Snyder wrong by not allowing him to complete his vision.
Yeah, and now he's going to
complete his vision.
Go more than complete that. She's gonna add to that shit.
Heck yeah!
How that's wrong.
I see how you can
hundreds of thousands of dollars and a whole bunch of. They did a suicide prevention charity was back behind this. A lot of man hours was invested with this.
Like your shirts were supposed to do.
That's why it's giving them a little more than just the cut, I believe. That's more than just the cut. Nigga, that's some new shit.
It's bigger than this.
So get excited. How long was it gonna run time? 2 hours? 3 hours now, niggas. Get excited.
What you saying is foul.
Why? You're getting more than what you bargained for.
This is
because it makes you wrong.
It's a straight.
I know you're getting more than what you're bargaining for.
Straight new movie.
That's not the original vision that he had.
All right, man. I wouldn't be upset. I don't.
Yeah, you're blowing me away.
Why? Give me more. What the fuck?
Because he's getting facts.
Yeah.
If I wanted Richard Donner.
Right. So then he goes on like about Richard Donner. I know I saw some of that, but yeah, you know, the point is like they keep adding to it. Like, what if it was animated? It's not.
It's not. Yo, this is. I'm gonna tell you where this stems from the original 4-year-old. Is it 4? Yeah, 4-year-old 2-hour rant about how bad BVS was. That's like when I tell you, because I used to watch his stuff, and I actually almost watched all of his rant about it before I even saw the movie. No, I saw it. I had saw it the premiere night before I watched his rant.
Yeah,
and I watched it because I'm an adult and I can watch different points of view. You know, like on as far as YouTube goes. So I watched it, didn't agree with it, but watched it. When I say that dude jumped. His subscriber count jumped 5 times from that one video because people who were, you know, if I guess
that agreed basically.
Yeah. Well, if they wanted something to be mad at, or if they wanted somebody to help them be sorrowful about BVS, this was the thing to do it. So, like I'm telling you, when I say his subscriber count jumped ridiculous off that one video, so then he saw, people like to watch me complain about stuff. And then so it went from there or whatever. But this is I can't let go of that hatred for it. Dude, well, what if it was animated? Are you serious? It's not animated, dude.
I know. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Is like he's fumbling back on his words. He's trying to come up with like all these reasons. He's trying to convince his own guy there that you know that this is a bad thing. He's like, well, you know, why can't you believe this? Whatever. And it's just crazy. But hey, we are very blessed right now because I'm gonna show you guys. Did you guys see this article right here that came out? And I loved this. Jonetta Davis put out this this about the article, right? And so we're going to talk about this. But you know what? Instead of just reading through this because it was titled "The Forbes Lesson on How Racism Still Operates in Journalism." Yeah. You know what? Usually we would just talk about that, you know, and we would give our opinions and we would congratulate that. But instead, we got Janetta right here.
Hey,
welcome to the Poindexter Lounge, Janetta.
Jonita.
Hi.
Hey.
Jonita, actually, yeah.
Jonita, I am sorry. My name's Enosh, and I know that I get names wrong, and people get my name wrong all the time. I am so sorry, Jonita. I am so sorry. But I got it now. How are you, Jonita? Oops.
Uh-oh.
Her device disconnected.
Uh-oh.
We're going to get her back. I'll tell you what, man. They're trying to come after us all. Oh, here she is. Okay. Hello, Jonita. Welcome.
Hi.
Hey, so glad to have you. I love your Wonder Woman gear. You look awesome.
Oh, thanks. There was leftovers of the costume here.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Now, obviously, you felt very strongly about this article that was that came out, and then the change in the article. And I'd love for you to all just tell us what you thought of this. What inspired you to write this?
Well, there's been a lot of hit pieces coming out lately. Just basically getting all the details wrong. The Jared Leto thing, I know you guys probably saw that one, where it's like a paragraph or two about, you know, Jared Leto being Joker, which is great news, but then the rest, like the bulk of the piece was about Ray Fisher and went after him. And then the one before that where Zach was shooting, it's like, okay, a couple paragraphs about Zach shooting, and then the bulk of it was going after. And so when I saw that Shiraz had written this piece and had gotten ready to sit down and actually give some details that we haven't heard before, stuff that kind of verified something that I've been writing about. I wrote a year ago about how, you know, the Zack Snyder's Justice League could possibly prove whitewashing in Joss's, you know, movie. Kind of posing the question, is that one of the reasons why that, you know, we don't want to get it? And then they don't want it to come out. And I had the help of the fans who helped me kind of lay out who was all taken out of the movie, you know, edited out of Zach's cut. From all the evidence that Zach gave us, it was a lot of people, and a lot of people of color, you know.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, and yeah, people make the they say, well, there were white people edited out. That's true. But the bulk of the people edited out were people of color.
I didn't even realize. I didn't until I saw that list. I was like, oh my gosh, yeah. What in the world?
It doesn't hit you until you see the list, and then you go back and you look at the film, and you're like, yeah, this film isn't very diverse.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Yeah, and that's not, you know, but we know of the fandom. I mean, of Zach's movies, and you know, even DC. I mean, DC is a very diverse story world. I mean, of characters.
Universe,
so,
yes.
Yeah. So Shiraz wrote this piece, and Ray said some things in the original one. Like, I didn't know anything about what he said about the colorist and how, you know, that was shocking that, you know, you get rid of dump the whole actress out, all of the actress's role because you didn't like her skin color. So you just edit her she's gone from the movie.
And I had heard that actually last year. I had heard,
really?
Yeah, I had heard a comment about that, but I didn't see anybody pick up on it. Like I didn't see anybody do anything with that whatsoever. And so I was just like, well, okay, you just don't know because you see something and then it goes away. You just don't know if it's real or not. And I always try to like weigh stuff out before I comment on it. So I mean, to see that in that article, it was like, oh wow, okay, yep, there we go.
Yeah, he said a lot of stuff in the article, and so, and that article was not. I mean, the Forbes got people tried to say that it was biased commentary. There was no bias in there. It just laid out Ray's story and what he was saying. Pretty much, maybe it gave a little background, and that was it. I really liked that it opened up more about what the allegations were. You know, what is really going on, and it actually implicated a lot more people. I mean, it kind of hinted that there are a lot more people who are waiting to tell their stories, a lot more people who are affected, you know. And so and then I look at it again, and there's an update on it, you know?
Yeah.
And then look at it again, the title's changed. And then again, there's a whole quote moved. There's a quote removed, and it's replaced by a quote from Whedon in his camp. And this is not how it's done. I mean, I'm a journalist, and they try to say that, you know, they try to act like it wasn't, you know, properly vetted, maybe, or there's something that the reporter did that.
We lost her.
She
for a
might have
second.
frozen.
Oops. Yeah, we'll get her. We'll get her back here. We'll get her back. There, she's back. Okay, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Jonita, you froze up just for a second right after you said that, you know, maybe the writer had not properly vetted things. So go from there.
Yeah. So they try to make it seem like it was the writer's fault, but I'm a journalist, and I've written for all kinds of publications.
Yeah.
The Washington Post. I've gotten stuff in all kinds of parenting magazines and stuff, and I know that it's not the writer that has the last say on any article. As a matter of fact, when that draft goes in, there's like 4 or 5 other people who are looking at this thing. You've got fact checkers, you've got editors, even before you're even granted, you know, and told, hey, you go write this piece. There are people that have to approve it for budget reasons.
Yeah.
You know, so
that's what I thought too. Like when I read your piece, I was like, they're acting like this is all on him. Like he forced his way through, just threw it up on the website. Yeah. Nobody knew that this was happening. And he called him a racist. Oh no! We can't have that. Like I said, there's several people that stuff has to go through. You don't just write an article and it just gets automatically printed just because you work there or because you contribute there.
That's not the way. And this is Forbes. I mean, come on now. That's not the way they work.
Yeah.
They don't work that way. And so, you know, I'm like, no, they're throwing the writer under the bus. But the thing is, what I call in the article shade tree journalism. When you have something that's in your article that's incorrect, the thing to do is to add an update, which they did, or an editor's note at the end, something at the beginning or the end. You do not change the article. Right. Now, if the article is bad enough to where you have to change it, you take it down. That's the customary is take the whole thing down.
Yes.
The whole thing goes. For them to go and to take out this key thing that Ray said about the colorist and the racism and replace it with something from the person he's accusing, that's unbelievably unethical.
Right?
That's unbelievably unstandard. That's not done. If you don't alter the original article in any way. And then they change the title, and then they have the nerve to put former contributor.
Yes. Oh, and trust me, Andy Signore today through Popcorn to Planet made sure to send me a picture because he unblocked me, and I sent him a private message and I said, "Hey, way to go! You know, like I'm actually impressed by that. You unblocked me after all this time. That's awesome." And instead came back with, well, he's not the only one here. And then, so I don't know if it was actually him or somebody else that he has contributing with him, but they made sure to send me a picture of the new article with it circled that it was a former contributor now, as if to say, well, look, see, he got fired because he wasn't telling the truth.
Yeah.
And that's such garbage. That like you said, if the article is filled with inaccuracies or something like that, you take it down. This is not like Forbes' first, you know, story that they've ever printed that's ever been controversial or, you know, like that people might take the wrong way or anything. So you just take it down if it's wrong and you print a retraction and you say, look, this is what happened. We don't stand by this article anymore, and it's done. But like you said, to change it, to change the name so it makes it even harder for people to find. Right? Anybody looking for it from before, they're going to have to look for it. And obviously it's still on the website, but you know what I mean? Like to just try to do these little deceptive things to just try to, it makes me wonder who got to them.
Oh, it said in the article that I think it said in the article the attorney or a spokesperson for Whedon. So I figure Whedon sent his attorney over there, his goon squad or something. He pulled the same move that Weinstein did. What used to pull. You know, with going after anybody who tried to write about him and sending his lawyers to threaten. And they caved instead of standing by their writer. They were supposed to stand by their writer. So
I posted your article in the chat. So anybody interested in going to read her article, man, So it was so good. It was so good because I was so frustrated. I was spending time with my family today, and I'm trying to just like have a peaceful Halloween with my family and everything. And I'm just reading all this stuff, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And then when I read your article, it just was like, okay, I'm not alone. There are other people in the world that get this. It's people who understand even the things like as far as like the racial aspects of this story and everything so much better than I can, because I'm just a white guy. So a lot of times I'll say something and people are like, well, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, look, like I can still be outraged. I'm ticked off about this stuff, and so like, yes, well then listen to the people who are telling you how they feel. When they look up, and like I said, I read when I read the amount of people who had been taken out of this movie. There's some white people that were taken out of this movie, and there's always going to be somebody on the cutting room floor. Always. But when you literally see it, that basically they took just about all of the representation out of this movie. It's shocking. It really is shocking to actually see a list of the people who were either completely cut or just reduced down to nothing. And it's like, and to know though that Zach is coming back and he's not only just replacing them, but he's giving us even more on top of that, where these characters can be fleshed out. I mean, I'm so glad to see that, and I'm so glad that you wrote a story like this.
Well, and I'm glad people have picked up on it, because I mean, I think that it was brave of Ray to kind of get up here, get out there and start just say all these things. But
yes,
I'm so glad that people understand. One of the things that I was trying to do, I was on the stream, the League of Mayhem with the Nerd Queens. I was watching. So today was awesome. We had a special guest on there. Somebody cosplayed as Zack Snyder.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was actually Zach, but he
was it? That's awesome.
Yeah.
So cool. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, you can tell them all they can come over here anytime. We'll be happy to have them.
Yeah, it was so cool. He came and sat and talked just trash and photography and candy with us. It was great. But we were on there talking and about journalism and the way these things set up. And someone in the comments asked if I would do a video showing fans how to read these pieces, to kind of tell what they're really doing, which ones are really bad, so that they're not sharing something that looks good because of the headline, but then it ends up being something terrible.
That's fine.
And I thought about that, after I read this, and I thought this could be an educational moment, I mean, this could be a moment where, fans kind of get an inside look at the way journalism is supposed to be, and to understand what's really happening here, and I think it'll help people when they're trying to explain what's happening in their fandom to people who are still like, oh, you're just a bunch of, weirdos and, that follow after Zack Snyder.
You're cultists. You're cultists. Yes. And I've donned many times here on the channel. I have donned my cultist ways because they've called me the cult leader. So I've inducted people into the cult of Snyder. Yes, they've brought them in because it's what we must do. We must have more power and bring them in and crush our enemies. Yes. It's ridiculous. So stupid. But you know what? I'll keep doing it. Like, you know what I think is hilarious is the fact that like I'm just a guy with a channel who supports Ray, who supports Zach, who supports these things. Like I'm like nobody in the movement. I was nobody like who was out there. Like, I got Zack Snyder here on my channel. You know what I mean? Like I would love to have him, but he's in here right now. Maybe one day though. Hey, you never know. But the thing is, I think it's hilarious because like I'm getting called out by these idiots. And they're like, yeah, this guy, he's the leader of this whole bunch because I guess they're just not used to people standing up against them. And like, if you say anything, all of a sudden, like you're the leader of the whole shebang. Like what? Like, come on, let's just whatever.
Yeah, they're not used to people talking, standing up to them and telling them, talking back and speaking up for themselves. And I thought, what better way to empower the fandom than to give them the language. I mean, if not anything else, to, speak back for themselves, to say that, this isn't. So in this case, If someone comes up and starts talking trash about, well, that Ray Fisher's, up to it again, and he's making these accusations, that, a fan can be like, no. If you're talking about that Forbes piece, that wasn't standard journalism right there. No. And they can explain what happened, and that really does kind of take the that cult accusation off.
Yeah,
you'll really stun the person and change the conversation. So
yeah, well, that's the thing is I keep seeing people make videos about the Ray Fisher situation, especially because it seems like now that the Snyder Cut is coming, people have kind of died down so much on ZACK. Now that this Ray Fisher, information has come to light, people aren't so hard on ZACK right now. They keep doing these hit pieces on Ray because they just want to discredit Ray, which then they feel puts a chink in the armor of the Snyder community, of the Snyder Cut community, of people who just wanted to support ZACK and do something good for him. And so I find it interesting because I keep seeing all of these little videos that people put out, and you can tell that they haven't spent 2 minutes doing any research whatsoever about what's going on, about what's really happened. They haven't watched Ray's videos, on Instagram. They haven't dived into some of the articles that have been written before and some of the things that have come out, or they haven't gotten into the history of what was going on. And I love the fact that Ray came out and said, hey, you know what? Look, we were all given this information and told basically kiss the studio's butt. Right? Kiss up to everybody, kiss up to Joss, kiss up to everybody, tell it, because everybody's like, well, why would he say that, he did such a great job? Because when you're coming into a situation and you're promoting a movie and the studio says, look, you got to do this, at the time, sometimes, you know what? Yeah, it feels overwhelming when you feel like, well, I'm just one person. I got to kind of go along with this. But then when you step back sometimes and you have the ability to take a real good look at what's around you and you go, no, this isn't right. And no, I'm not going to be silent. And when the opportunity comes back, and then all of a sudden this movie is back into the public vernacular again, and it's like the people are talking about it. Yes, this was the right time to do this.
It was
to bring this up. And I'm just glad for people like you. I'm glad for others. I'm glad for the nerd queens who are awesome and their support, and for things like Justice Khan, which actually brought out so many good things. I mean, so many great quotes from that whole thing between ZACK, and then to even hear Ray talk about it with them about, hey, look, I don't care. You come after me all you want. I'm going to keep. The truth is the truth. And that's what we got to stand for, is the truth. If you really are wanting the truth and not just your favorite person to be a good person in real life.
That's it. And this is nothing new for Joss Whedon. I linked an article in mine that goes through the list of accusations. They go all the way back to Buffy. I mean, so and there's been people complaining about him all this time, about the way he is on set, offset, relationships with actors, working toxic work environments. I mean, this is not the first time that anybody has complained. I think it's the first time someone has actually stood up to him and kept going and kept pressing on. And if you saw tonight, Ray, I mean, he had that logo, which to me says he's doubling down and he's not giving up. So there
it is right there.
Yeah,
there it is right there. We've got, ladies and gentlemen, we have a logo. I'm gonna promote the heck out of this. I've already made it my avatars for all of the channels avatars. We're gonna support this. We're gonna push this out there, and I encourage you all, if you believe that accountability is greater than entertainment, I encourage you all to stand with Ray, to make this your avatar, to be able to, just like was said, inform yourself, so that when you see people, because look, those of us who like this stuff, we are all kind of those people, right? We're those people that all of our friends, they're always like, hey, what's going on with that DC stuff? What's going on with these DC movies, or like Star Wars or something, right? Like, we're those people, right? And so we need to be the people who are educated.
We do.
We need to be the people who can give an answer to these kind of allegations, this garbage news, these people who just keep putting out this junk. We need to be the people to stand up to it and to be able to give people the truth.
Well, yeah, it needs to come from us. And one thing I do want to point out too, it looks like Just Ray is doing this in this article, and before he said many times before, it's not just him. He's kind of insinuated there's more. There's a lot more.
Yeah.
And so
yeah, he's just the sort of the figurehead, he's taking the brunt of it, because there are other people that do have families, that do have children, that do have, and he doesn't. He's like, well, since I don't have that, I'll go ahead and take the lead on this. So
yeah, and so that's all the more reason, because if we can make this so loud that they can't get rid of it, that they have to face it, that something has to be done about it, then we're even helping these people who have families and so much at stake they can't help themselves. So I think that's all the more reason to stand up and like you said, to be there and support.
Yeah, it's so funny to watch these executive and just entities sort of like run around, scrounge around like chickens with their head cut off, because they've never been put in a situation like this. So they're like, we're going through the grinder here. What do we do? How do we evade this? How do we change the public perception? How do we skew this narrative and spin it to where it doesn't make us look so horrible or whatever. And it's just like, man, they are really trying hard to sort of to shield themselves, protect someone, and say, we're not gonna sort of bow out or take responsibility for everything that these people did under our tutelage. So I mean, if they're not gonna, I don't know. I think that the stronger thing to do would be to just take responsibility. Make certain what do I want to say? Just make certain guidelines, SOP, whatever it is, going forward, and say this is the new standard that we are going to adhere to. So you don't have to worry about these types of situations going forward. And if something does kind of allude to that, or something happens like that again, then we have checks and balances that can take care of people that are in these unions or whatever, that are working for our company in any capacity. And I just don't see why they're not doing that. It seems so irresponsible. It's like they're like cockroaches. You turn the light on, they scatter, and they're like, no, turn the light off. How do we get the light off? They're not worried about anything else. They're worried about the freaking light. Their focus is wrong. So
I think they've been doing this so long, and the practice has been, this is the same practice they've gone through each time. And so they're stuck on this circuit. It's
what they know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just as like, okay, we have that new Moon Knight movie and some other movies that they're like giving out information to. It's that engine. It's sort of like, okay, we need to build hype for this. We need to do this, and then all the way, it leads all the way up to the release date. And that's why, like, a movie like Wonder Woman is failing, because it was a part of that same thing. The Dorito bags and all that stuff, that was all in July. And the movie's not coming out until possibly December. So they've lost all that marketing. It's not in the mind's eye for the consumer. But it's that same thing. And they're talking about new movies and new franchises, Green Lantern and all that kind of stuff or whatever. And it's just like they're still stuck in that rut. Like Janita was saying, is that this is their paradigm. This is the thing that this is the engine that they've built, and they can't get out of that. No, it's like this machine is built for one thing, and if they change the machine, I just think they're too afraid to step out of that cycle and try something different.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, we're not going to back down. We're going to keep coming strong. We're going to keep standing for what we know is right. And like I said at the top of this whole thing, my resolve is just as strong as ever, if not even more now, dedicated. We lost her again for a second, but we'll get her back. My resolve is even stronger now that we are going to support Ray. We are going to support his cause. Look, until something comes out, we've said this many times, guys, on these panels and other panels, until something comes out that shows me any different,
There you go.
There you go.
Right there.
That's it.
I stand with Ray.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, right there. Right. I stand with Ray. These guys stand with Ray. Janita stands with Ray.
Oh, yeah.
And we're gonna keep standing with Ray. We're not gonna do that. And you know what? Not only that, but I do because all of a sudden we have an influx of people. So you know what? We'll tick people off even more a little bit by re-showing this. We are as a channel at the Superman Museum in Metropolis, Illinois. There is a walkway that has bricks that are dedicated to people, and people can either most time families put them themselves, or people, you know, there's a bunch of celebrities who have bought bricks for this, and the money helps to keep the Superman Museum going. And I was just in Metropolis a couple of months ago, and I saw this, and you know what I thought to myself? What better place to have somebody's name recognized than at the Superman Museum in Metropolis? Zack's name needs to be there. And so I want to share this with you guys. We are at just the GoFundMe. I just posted the link in the chat, and it's also in the description of this video. It says we're at $200, but I want to point out to everybody that we actually started raising money before actually the GoFundMe started. So people started giving money in other ways. So we are actually over $450 right now towards this. So we are so close. We're like literally a couple $100 away, and we are going to have a brick dedicated to Zack Snyder and his family, because that's what this movement is all about, is supporting Zack Snyder. We're not a bunch of cultists. We're not just about following a man no matter what he says or does. We're talking about a guy here and a family who went through a tragedy. And then you had one tragedy happen, and then unfortunately there were executives and people who use it as another tragedy. Because I know, as a creator myself, as a musician, as somebody who creates things, when you have something taken out of your hands, that's your baby. That's something that means something to you. And obviously these movies meant something to Zack. They're his passion. That's why he's going back and retouching all of these things and going back to this story that he had, because he's passionate about it and it means something to him. And when I went to the Superman Museum and I was looking at the various names and everything on some of these bricks and stuff, and there's people there who had dedicated it to family members who loved Superman, or other celebrities who love Superman. And I thought to myself, you know what? Zack Snyder is responsible for bringing my Superman, the Superman that I always wanted to see on the big screen. When I walked out of Man of Steel and I saw his thank you to Janita also. She had to go. Awesome. Thank you so much. I didn't see that real quick. I would have properly said goodbye to her, but thank you so much, Janita, for being here. But when I saw Man of Steel, it meant everything to me. And so, man, that's all I want to do. I want to give something back, and I would like us all to kind of come together and do that. And so you can find all those links down there. But guys, I don't know, man. This is I'm so blessed that Janita wrote the article that she wrote. I posted that in the chat as well, guys. You guys can pick up on that. And I'm just dedicated to the fact that, you know what, we've been silent about a lot of stuff. Obviously not about the Ray Fisher stuff specifically, but I'm just more resolved than anything. I don't know about you guys. I'm not going to just back down to this garbage and just let.
Oh, right. I mean,
they want to say.
Everything that they're doing, the whole, the Frosty the Snowman crap and every single bit of spin that they try. I mean, it's almost every couple weeks, the crap that happened right before the second Fandom. I mean, just everything that they're trying to do. I'm so glad that, that Ray's able to come in and say, hey, let me bring some levity to the situation. Let me kind of, calm the storm a little bit that these other people are trying to stir up, because I mean, what they're trying to do is they're trying to win the freaking public opinion. Like, that's so sophomoric. That's so retarded. It's like, what? Dude, we're adults, get beyond this crap. I don't care about, Warner Brothers Pictures. They don't mean anything to me. I don't care about the stuff that they brought to us. I'm talking about workers. I'm talking about people who are over them. I'm talking about, just an environment, a work setting environment that I hate to use the word toxic because it gets blown out of proportion,
Yeah,
but
sure.
but an unsuitable environment for employees, for contract workers. It's just that should not be the case. Draining the swamp is definitely something that can be applied to Warner Brothers Pictures.
Absolutely.
And should be.
I just want to mention
Hollywood too. I mean,
yeah, I just want to mention real quick because Rasha brought this up about the brick that we're doing. Yes, Rasha, I will actually not only be publishing a list, but I'm also going to make a video regarding everyone who's donated in thanks. And yes, we will get a picture of the brick. We trust me. We're going to promote the heck out of that brick. That's going to be probably the most photographed brick ever when we can do it. And we're going to encourage anybody who goes to Metropolis and sees the brick that you post about it and let people know about it. So yes, there'll be plenty to come about the brick once we're able to secure that last couple $100 that we need and get that funded.
There you go.
And then yep, and it's something that I've put my money where my mouth is. We dedicated the first $100, and you guys have been awesome in your in your response. And there's just people who get it. Look, is it a huge thing in the bigger scheme of things? Is it going to change the world? No, it's a brick, right? But you know what? I think it's a thing of respect.
Yeah, a way to show appreciation.
Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
And to show appreciation for Zach because he's done so much for us. And so for all of us who just appreciate Zach's movies and Zach's creativity and what he's put into these films and the fact of what's happened to him and now Ray and the way that people have come against them and stuff just for simply wanting to put out his version. I love what Zach said so much, and it's resonated with me, and it's stuck in my heart and in my mind ever since, where he said, it doesn't matter at this point if my movie even ever gets seen by anybody.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if anybody ever sees that movie, with the response of everyone who has responded to him and his family and blessed them and the way that they've blessed them and supported them. That's what it's all about. If his movie never got seen, the way that people got together and raised money for suicide prevention awareness. And I will say to you, any money that is raised that comes in above what we need to pay for the brick, all of that is going to go to suicide prevention. And guess what? I can show receipts because it's pretty easy. I've done it before. I already did that a couple months ago and showed the receipt. It's a really quick button that you just hit on the website. I do want to say a special shout out because we got into that conversation. I didn't want to just interrupt, with that because I didn't feel it was proper to do at the time. But thank you, DC Talk with Extended gave another $5
awesome
to the super chat. And I will say DC Talk with Extended did donate to the brick. So thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you, DC Talk.
Yeah, he's a great guy. And what's awesome, not only with DC Extended, but everybody that was on the panel, including Jonita, has got an I Stand with Ray Fisher jersey. That's friggin' awesome. I was like,
mine hasn't come yet. I ordered mine on the air.
I know you got it though. I know you got it. On the air. Brian and Anthony got it. Joe has it. DC Talk with Extended has it. I mean, it's like people actually, they're putting their money where their mouth is in these situations. Like you said, even with the brick. There you go. It's more about, standing for something, I mean, these shirts don't last forever, but you know what? That image right there is, I mean, that's enough to warm somebody's heart. And you know what? Ray Fisher knows about this stuff. And that's what makes it so awesome. Yeah, there he is.
Heck yeah. That's
what would be even more awesome if somebody bought a shirt for him and sent it to him and he wore it. That'd be amazing. That'd be pretty monumental.
Heck yeah.
Shablam.
Shablam. Super punch. All the members hit us up with a super punch right now. Yeah, buddy. This is what it looks like. You can see here that people just they dedicate these bricks. So we're getting one of the big ones. We're not going to go little.
Yeah. Can you do the Man of Steel emblem like?
Yes, we can.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
sweet.
we
there
can.
You go. That's
so we're gonna do the yeah, heck yeah. We're gonna put the Man of Steel emblem on there. Man.
It deserves to be there.
Oh, the Superman Museum is awesome. As you can see here, me and my family went there this summer, and it was just fantastic. And so, heck yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna put his emblem on there. We're gonna come up with just the right thing to say from all of his associate producers, and just really show our love and support for Zack Snyder and his family. And I hope that you guys will consider being a part of that. And I see your super punches in the chat. I see your super punches. That's awesome.
I don't have a
That's
sweet
awesome.
ring, but
there you go. And yes, DC Talk, I will make you a mod.
He has to be a mod on mine too. I was like, it's been so long since I made a mod. I was like, how do you do it?
Heck yeah. Well, hey guys, this is just something that I felt really this was just burning in me today, because I haven't talked about some of these people, in a while, and I've just been kind of resolved that I wasn't going to give in to the mess and the drama and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But you know what? There comes a time where it's like there's a time to say something. There's a time that it's just rhetoric going back and forth, and that doesn't get anybody anywhere. That's just a bunch of drama, and people try to use that just simply for clicks and views. The fact that we have not been talking about these people, Jody and Andy, for the last 2-3 months now.
Mum's the word on that one.
Yeah,
it's therapeutic.
Yes, and so the fact that we haven't talked about them is definitely a show of we're not just looking to get clicks and views out of people or to ride people's names,
because drama's easy.
Yeah, he's taking the high road.
Easy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like Anthony was saying earlier about the subscriber count going up for Jody or for Andy or whatever, because that's what they thrive on.
Yeah.
Is that sort of rhetoric. Yeah.
And so you know what, but when we see things that are just wrong and need to be addressed, I'm fine with addressing those things and bringing that up. And like I said, I'm not, this is not just to stir up anything ever again, because that's exhausting and I don't want to do that. But like I said earlier, I'm open to anybody coming on the channel, having a real discussion, one-on-one. You want to talk about something, you want to tell me without going all crazy and yelling and screaming at me and being perverted and all those things, because that's not how we do it here on the Poindexter Lounge. If you want to come and you want to have a real discussion and sit down man to man and talk about something, like Macho Man said, be a man, Hogan. Be a man. Let's get together. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk. You and me, Hogan. Let's do it. All right. So there you go. Dig it. Absolutely.
So you don't want.
Look at there. Tom Hanks, Ballsack 69 stands for Ray Fisher.
There he is.
That's right.
So there you go.
That's right.
So there you go.
I mean, right there. That's it. It's one.
That's worth all of it. It's a done deal. Who's going to argue with that? Right?
I'd like to see an attorney sort of. Tom Hanks, Ballsack 69. He says, "I stand with Ray Fisher." I rest my case.
There you go. I have nothing more, Your Honor. I have nothing more.
Nothing more. Yeah.
As far as that, go back to that question.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
As far as that, if he made this and he stepped away, I would be like, "Yo, that's fire." If he made more, I'd say, "Yo, that's fire." Like I would be satisfied, because like me and Ryan have talked about it before. Like if Zach just stays on DC stuff, at some point in time, he would say, "Okay, I have to relieve myself of the DC and move to something else, whether it be the ink." You know what I'm saying? Like he just can't.
Right. Everybody needs that. Like when you go hard on like creative and a creative outlet, you can't. He's not going to do DC for the rest of his life.
No.
Exactly.
So if he makes this 4-part series and takes a 5-year break, fire. I'm like, yo, I appreciate you, Zach, like I've always said, and we'll see you whenever you come back. If he never comes back, that's fine. But at least he got that. His vision came out, and we're just
what? No,
dude, I'm literally wearing a Nuclear Man T-shirt. I love all things DC, whether or not they're made by DC, whether or not they're made by Zach or anybody else, man. I'm going to support DC.
Yeah,
because I love DC.
I'm going to watch Matt Reeves' movie. I'm going to watch the Green Lantern show. I'm going to watch, Stargirl season 2.
I'm going to surprise some people. I'm going to surprise some people right here, right now, because somebody threw something at me and they're going, well, they started talking about Superman's trunks. Little secret. I'm a believer in the trunks. Yes, it's 2020, and I think that the trunks can still work. right? So
Sure.
so everybody who thinks that I'm just like, like, oh, I'm no. In fact, if there's anything about that I didn't like, it's because I like the trunks. But you know what? I'm okay with it. I'm not gonna gripe and complain just because he didn't make every little thing for me. I'm good with it. Because you know what? It's a movie, and we got to find the stuff that we like about stuff and the things we don't like, and just move on, right? And so that's what I'm.
Trunks doesn't make the man.
No, you're good. You're good. 187.
The man makes the trunks.
We're still going to be DC fans. I mean,
absolutely.
Even with the Greatest American Hero coming back next year.
Oh yeah.
Nah, it's not.
Believe it.
That's not. Oh, you son of a.
Slowly, no,
Now you're talking a whole other thing, dude. 'Cause let me tell you something, man. You're gonna get me started on Greatest American Hero.
Was fire.
Oh, it was. It was.
Christopher Cross.
You're talking normal curly-haired guys that can be superheroes too.
That lost the instruction books.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, it's just me.
I'm gonna take those 3 steps, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm gonna fly.
Believe it or not, I'm walking on
air.
I never thought I could feel so free. Flying away on a wing and a prayer. Who could it be? Believe it or not, it's just me.
The sheer concept of that show. He lost the instruction booklet, so he
I
know. It's so good. It's so good.
All right. So hey guys, so
we gotta get over to Max.
We gotta get over to Max's because Max started this thing. I do want to say a quick word and just say rest in peace, Sean Connery.
007, my man.
My grandpa, and you know what? And also a shout out because my grandpa died on Halloween years ago, and my grandpa was an awesome man. He just loved everybody, and he loved things, and he just enjoyed life. And so I think there's no better way to actually end the stream than to say, just love what you love, right? Support the truth. Look, whenever all the stuff comes out about this, you can make whatever opinions you want to, but you know what? Don't attack Ray Fisher without knowing the facts, without knowing things. And you know what? Things will come to light as they come to light.
Yeah.
And just keep going and just go with that. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, we've been given the symbol. We've been given the symbol. There it is. I love this, man. I'll tell you what, nobody make a t-shirt.
That's fire.
Nobody make a t-shirt out of this because Ray Fisher needs to be able to capitalize on this and make a t-shirt of this and make products with this because, man, I want a t-shirt of that. I want this on a t-shirt. What I will say is you can definitely show your support for Ray here by becoming a member, and we're all support Ray Fisher around here. So that's what's up. As Max is in the chat, I think Max has waited for us, so I'm not going to make Max wait anymore. But 5 minutes till Binge Buddies return. You got time to go to the other room. Take a pee break. Get yourself a cup of coffee, whatever you got to do. Remember, you know what, and don't say, well, it's late. It's 11 o'clock on the East Coast because tonight is daylight savings, so it falls back. So guess what? You get an extra hour. Yeah, you get an extra hour. So you know what? So there you go. There you go.
And get a nightcap. Go watch Nicotina. We're gonna watch the
Suicide Squad. Like 2 in the morning. And like 2 in the morning.
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, heck yeah. But this DC Talk has the word of the night. I stand with Ray Fisher. You ain't changing my mind. Yep. You're not taking away from that. You can do all the little hit pieces on me that you want. You look a little tired there, Andy. I was
gonna say kind of like Stone.
I can't stop streaming.
Well, I love when you started saying it because it's like, look, Poindexter, you don't know what you're talking about, man. I tell you what, you don't understand how it all works. Blah 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 blah. Like,
what is so funny is that when he met us. Used as well on Max's stream, he had no idea who you were, and now he can't get you off of his lips.
That's what I'm saying.
That's so nice.
It's like, there I am. Months later, I'm still living rent free in Andy Signore's mind. So I got one thing to say about that. Oh yeah, the Macho Man Enosh Fee loves that a lot, and I'm willing to take that to the bank, if you know what I'm saying, because I stand with Ray Fisher. Dig it. All right, guys. Until next time, stay nerdy, support Ray Fisher, support the truth, whatever that is, man. Support that.
Yep.
Take a stand for the things that you believe in, and just know that, you know what? Good things are going to come. Good things are going to happen if you support the movement. Don't worry about all this other junk. Don't let anybody bring you down, because as Ray said tonight, I am unafraid. That was such a powerful thing to say, ladies.
Powerful Jedi was he.
Yes, powerful Jedi. Powerful Jedi was he. Yes.
Powerful he is.
Always with you, it cannot be done.
But you know what? It's all good. We're just gonna continue to do what we do, and also don't forget, like I said, to follow the links in the description. And shout out to all of our Patreon supporters, all of our members. You guys are all awesome. And out to everyone who just watches the channel. We love you guys all. Make sure also support the Milee Store, who gives away free comic books here on the channel. You can find their link down in the description below. And just good stuff. It's a good time to be a DC fan, folks.
Yep.
And we're not letting anybody take that away from us. So I leave you with the wonderful words of my grandmother and the Nerd Queens and our new friend Wonder Meg, who's been right there. Yeah. She tried to steal my Gene Hackman.
I seen it.
Yeah, you were here, you guys. Two of you guys were here. You saw her.
Yeah. I mean, you could just feel it in the air.
Oh man, she was
like,
she was making a dash. She was doing the whole flash thing. Enosh, I'm gonna take your Gene Hackman.
And he's like, what are you talking about?
Listen to me now.
Listen to me now.
It's Gene. It's Gene Hackman.
Gene Hackman is the key.
I totally got to clip this and send this to her. That's awesome. But so we leave you on this stream in a positive way with the words of my grandmother, the Nerd Queens, Miss Wonder Meg herself, and our leader, Zack Snyder. Stay nerdy. We'll see you next time.
Welcome to the Poindexter Lounge. I'm Enosh's grandma, and I say yes, release the Snyder cut.
That's right. Even grandma knows. Congratulations, Zach.
So the film was finished in the cut that I'm working on was finished in February of, I think that was it 2017? Yeah, February of 2017. The cut was finished. You know, and then that's the giant, you know, super long version of the movie, my kind of penultimate version. And then the work we did in the subsequent months was to shorten the movie to the studio mandate that you know, that we never really got to.
Yeah.